So it says an art teacher is mixing paint to make a shade of orange. She uses 2.5 ounces. 2.5 tenths of an ounce of red for every 7 ounces of yellow. And the table shows the possible values of R, the number of ounces of red paint, and Y, the number of ounces of yellow paint. So here I have, here I have different tables. And these are all my ratio tables. So actually, let's do this. We're going to make our own ratio table to compare ours with what's given to us. So it can be easier for us to know which one is correct. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight our important information. So I know what's important is what the information that they gave us, which is 2.5 tenths of an ounce of red for every 7 ounces of yellow. Okay, so let's actually fill that out right here. So actually, before I fill that out, let me do this. So now it says, when I look at my question part, which is which table shows the possible values of R, the number of ounces of red paint, because they mentioned that first, that should be the top value first. So R is red, and I know for red I have 2.5 tenths of an ounce, okay? And then I have yellow paint, my yellow ounces of yellow paint, which should be 7 ounces, okay? So now I'm just going to do my rainbows, okay? So from my rainbow here, it should be times 2. Remember, I want to keep the same shade of orange. So I need to just increase it. I need to double it. So if I want to make 3 times that size, that means I need to multiply it by 3. I want to keep the same shade of orange, okay? So times 3. So now it's going to be here times 4. So this one's going to be times 4. And then my last one's going to be times 5. Times 5. Times 5. Okay, so then it's going to be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Then I have 2.5 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus a half is 5. 2.5 times 3. If that's 5, that should be 7.5, 7.5 tenths. And then times 4, so I'm going to do 2.5 tenths times my 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more 10. Wait, 20. Sorry. Then here I have one number behind the decimal, so that means I have to move it once to the right. So that means this is just 10. And then my last value of 5, so 2.5 or 2.5 tenths times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 more 12. Because I only have one number behind the decimal, I move it once to the right. So then I have 12.5 or 12 and 5 tenths. So now let's compare. So we know all these are correct, right? Because red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, and I'm talking about red and yellow. So now here I have 2.5 over 7. 2.5 over 7, great. 2.5 over 7, 2.5 over 7, 2.5 over 7. So now I have 5 over 14 should be the next value. This one's not, so this one's wrong. 5 over 14, 5 over 14, this one's not. So I cross this one out. These two are correct. Now my only choices are these two. So now I have 7.5 over 21. This one is correct. So far my answer choice is B. So if I look at this, now I have 16 over 100. So let's check for 16. So if I am increasing each time, right? If I know I have 16 and I need to see how many groups of 2.5 fit into 16, I would have to divide. And because of my time here, right, I'm actually going to show it with a calculator. So 16 with 2.5. So we're going to see how many times 16 can go into 2.5, which should be 6.4. So if I multiply 6.4 to both sides, here I should get 44.8 tenths. Okay, so because this is not 44.8